Always wanted to visit Stellar Bay. Taking the sights, the sounds, Wait, what's that smell?
You'll get used to it. Give it 10 or 15 years.
Heads up!
On it! Damn, but we're good.
I can do that.
Here we go!
Hit! One down!
Hello? Hello? I hear Boots out there. Wait, can Raps hear Boots? Get away! Oh, thank the Eternal. I'm Huxley. Hux if you're lazy. I'm stuck. My friends and I were scavenging here, and a Mantiqueen showed up. Then Raptidons. It was a void-blasted mess. I ran in here and, now the door's locked. Little help? Phew. Thanks, lady. My buddy had a key, but I ain't heard him in a while. He locked me in here and took off. Probably got munched. So look for a dead guy, I guess. Or a rat. Maybe It's in a rat belly. Gross. Oh, much obliged.
Ah, phew. Thank you so much. It was getting all stuffy in there, and I was getting a mite lightheaded, and I think maybe I was gonna die. Now I'm out here, and I'm headed back to Amber Heights.
Still landing yourself in trouble, eh, Hux?
Oh, hi, Nyoka. You mind giving me an escort back home? Oh, you're traveling with someone. Never mind. But I ain't got nothing on me. How's about a heaping helping of appreciation and respect? That's true. Okay, fine. Here. Oh, sure, I'm a runner. I'm used to getting all dizzy and... Hey, who's your identical, slightly blurry friend? Thanks a lot, lady.
Heads up, boss!
Down they go! I love tick fights.
Must have been nice, throwing off the shackles of your old job, taking up the rugged life of a hunter.
Sure, it's... Wait, what?
The board must have forced you to do something till you decided to be a hunter. I was hauling boxes till the boss picked me up.
It's not like...
Be careful with your new friends in Amber Heights. They're not the most reliable types. Anyway, what can I do for you? You weren't supposed to look. I asked you to delete it. Oh, yes. No doubt someone else was having a laugh at my expense before you. This has been my albatross, the great shame of my career. I give MSI everything. My work, my youth, my left kidney, and for years, I was a joke to them. Oh, perhaps they were right. After all, what have I built? Stellar Bay is barely keeping afloat. I hadn't thought of it that way. But perhaps there's something to that. Thank you for that. Or was there something else? Oh, yes. I'm going to be up all night with this. All those blanks waiting to be filled, boxes waiting to be ticked.
Try to control yourself, sir.
Have you any idea how powerful this is? Corporations have been toppled with less. See, Celia? She gets it. I told you she would.
So you did, sir.
The world isn't changed with guns and speeches, much as Graham and his followers would like to think, but rather with meticulous documentation.
Hearing that caused me physical pain.
Sorry, Celia's always chiding me about my word choice. I shall endeavor to employ simpler verbiage. For our part, a bill of liquidation/transfer Form 52 will protect our holdings on Monarch by temporarily assigning them to a pass-through entity once we drop our bomb on the board. See, that doesn't even make sense. This is an electronic form. We don't need paperweights.
Hardly the point, sir.
I have reason to believe that one of the other corporations is operating on Monarch. Illegally and in secret.
The board just can't let Monarch go, huh?
If we can find proof, I can use that as leverage to encourage certain powers that be to accept our Bolt 52 and reinstate us on the board. You really think so? I admit I've been hatching this scheme for quite some time. I just needed someone capable to help me carry it out. If someone is operating here, then Catherine's almost certainly supplying them out of Fallbrook. Perhaps she could be convinced to tell you where they are. That's part of the problem. She has certain ambitions for Stellar Bay, and I fear my asking her would give her the leverage she's been looking for.
Don't get yourself worked up, sir. It's perfectly natural to have a healthy fear of her.
We really don't need to discuss this now, Celia. Once you, subtly work out where this corporate facility might be, bring back proof of its operation. Maybe some nice letterhead. Or someone working there. That would do it. A foolproof plan if I ever heard one. I'll leave the execution to you.
Hey, Nyoka. I got some questions I've been meaning to ask you. About being a hunter and all.
Felix, are you reading off your hand again?
Yep. So, first question. Before you kill your prey, you ever say any snappy one-liners?
Snappy one-liners? Give me an example.
Like, nothing personal, or maybe, you messed with the wrong hunter.
Animals can't understand language, Felix. Besides, it's always personal. I don't kill them, they'll kill me. It ain't exactly a wholesome business arrangement we've got going on.
Want to make a run with me to Stellar Bay?
Catherine's great, ain't she? She'll pull you out of the sulf.
How's Clive? I do hope you gave him my regards. Won't pretend I'm not disappointed. Suppose I've no choice but to be patient. Maybe a handful of bits will spur you into quicker action. Might be I know something about it. Might be someone hired my crew to blind drop supplies on the Northern Bridge. Might be they sure as shit weren't pirates. Now that I consider it, I ain't heard from my delivery team in far too long. Find them for me, and I'll pay you handsomely. And I'll thank you kindly for it. What about it, aside from the fact that I can smell it all the way from here? You mean you can't just follow the stench trail or the squealing bloody murder sounds of little sissy piggies? Once you're clear of the bridge, follow the river southwest. Sure, weren't no skin off my nose. I take it you don't have a reservation. No matter, I keep a suite of VIP rooms for visitors of your, let's call it a certain means. The VIP rooms charge by the night, but for you, I'll make it a one-time fee. Marvelous, do take care of the place. Maid service won't clean after a murder.
Gas is incoming! Here I come!
Covering you! Everyone all right?
This place smells worse than the back bays.
What?
be a part of the new line shift. Don't tell me you lost your key card already. A lost card's worth 2 infractions, you know. Nope, that's alright. I know what their messages tend to entail.
Your uniform's looking real sharp.
What in the void? Who is this? Space it all. Do you want to get canned? Uh-huh. And I'm the Borst King of Monarch too. Think I don't know the sound of his voice, you crazy rung leech? Gertie, you on shift near the control room? Please issue this nutter a pink slip before we each earn an infraction.
Thanks, B.
You're getting through!
Exiting security enforcement mode.
Waste of company ammo.
System. Sweeping that action is not authorized.
What? That's odd. Better take
Looks like we're doing this!
No prisoners!
Everyone out
Damn the open!
Off I go.
Whoa now. And just what do you figure you're doing up here? These are my private quarters, friend. I don't allow tours up here. I don't allow tours ever on certain things require a mess to do well. See, I was just killing sometime. I do own a factory known for specializing in the canning of Borstwurst. On occasion, I like to imbibe other parts of the Sisty Pig. Did you fancy me a cannibal? Perish the thought. No, I don't eat the bodies, I disappear. A joke, that last was. So, what can I do for you? My full attention is at your disposal.
I'm not saying you shouldn't vex this guy, but if you do, it's been nice knowing you.
While I approve of your associate's cautious nature, I still teeter on the verge of losing my patience. Let us move forward with the present proceedings. By sublight, you mean Catherine, do you not? That greedy, star-crossed sow. Listen, friend. The Borst King of Monarch does not negotiate with coveters. How about you bring me Catherine's severed head? And you desire that I should lower myself to Catherine's level of crassness and filth? I cannot fathom how that would cotton myself. The king built this golden monopoly brick by brick from the rubble when the corpse abandoned Monarch. No, he ain't the sort to partner up, as that requires the sharing of power and profits. You think to blackmail me? Try it. The king will grind you to bone spurs and toenails. For true? You figure she will appreciate my skills? They did take me years to perfect. However, I remain unconvinced she could provide the means to make the association worth my while. If you ain't noticed, I'm doing swell, ruling this kingdom. I do admire a properly ruthless individual. If it will keep that sublight sow off my back, then it's an undoubtedly worthwhile pursuit. The king is interested. John Hancock me on the dotted line, friend. I will even give her a cut of the profits, requiring she keeps clear of my short hairs. Do not push me. I am not one to suffer insults. Tell Catherine she is permitted to dump the bodies each and every Tuesday, precisely at 3 a.m. You ain't a very loyal employee, are you? Still, I reckon it's better that sow than me be led to the slaughterhouse. All right. You got yourself a deal with
You make it look so easy.
piss, and I had hoped it might not come to this.
Here they come! Everyone all right?
Processing. Security patrol initiated. Search failed. Suspicious data not found.
What?
System. Crime alert.
Everyone all right?
Whoa now. And just what do you figure you... These are my private quarters, friend. I don't allow certain things. I do... Did you... Well, let us move forward with the present proceed. But listen, friend. You did... The king build this gold. You think to blackmail me? For true? However, I remain... I do admit... If it will... The king is interested. Do not push me. Tell Catherine she is permitted to dump...
seen Arthur today?
Catherine Malin could sour milk just by...
How's Clive? I do hope you gave him... Oh, this ought to be good. What does he mean to offer in exchange for his no-account life? True enough, I got bodies piling up, drawing attention where they ought not to be. But if I take the factory, I don't need Clive to dispense of my messes. Can appoint someone to handle it myself. Point taken. Good help is hard to come by. Plus, Clive doesn't seem the type to upchuck his Borst during dismemberment. Still, so are a lot of things in life. And your point is? All right. Color me convinced. Reckon I owe you a finder's fee. Don't spend it all in one place. Unless it's here. Judging from the blood spatter on your shirt, I take...
Got a few more questions for you. They're real simple. Don't think about them too.
Thank you again for retrieving the bolt. It's every bit as complex as I'd heard, but I'm up to the challenge. Anyway, what can I do for you? Then it's good that I keep such meticulous notes. Ah, so you've heard about our prior acquaintance. I suppose you're right. Graham's always had a way with words. Strange as it may seem, I suspect he'd have quite the corporate career if he weren't so radical. Graham seemed like a reasonable man years ago. We both agreed that MSI's treatment of its workers was untenable. I thought reforms would be enough. I didn't realize you wanted to abolish the corporate system entirely. I've asked myself the same thing many times. Especially seeing as the legal mechanisms we employed were part of the board's own bylaws. Not intentionally, though that's technically true. For many years, this planet was home to as many corporations as Terra 2. But back then, it was known as Terra 1. Really? I always thought they were refreshingly straightforward names. After all, the whole point of terraforming was to make them Earth-like.
Here, though, the results were mixed.
That ain't fair. They didn't leave on account of the hazards. They left on account of their cowardice. The hazards just gave them a reason to put to paper.
Sharp as ever, Nyoka. And as the other corporations began to tally their losses, they decided to pull out. Our leadership at the time certainly wanted to. But there were others of us who saw an opportunity. The chance to improve working hours and conditions, to reform MSI from the ground up. Indeed. Anyway, we learned of a loophole in the corporate bylaws that would allow MSI to claim ownership of the entire planet once the other corporations pulled out, creating the perfect environment for us to enact these new reforms. No, they laughed in our faces and insisted we'd be relocating to Terra 2, along with everyone else. Yes, some of us stayed behind, and as the most senior executive remaining, I ended up in charge of what was left of MSI. I moved forward with our planned reforms, as well as our strategy to assume ownership of the planet. Yet not long after I renamed it Monarch, the other corporations dislodged us from the board and began an official campaign to paint us as lawless savages. I don't think I realized how far they'd stoop. Everything we did was legal and above board. We followed their rules, and yet they still found reasons to declare us outlaws.
Your first mistake was expecting the board to cut you a fair deal.
I understand the sentiment, but if we can't rely on some sort of framework, then what do we have? I do think there's something useful in a governing body like the board. something that keeps us from anarchy, but I dearly wish it functioned differently. Why wouldn't anyone? They own nearly all the resources and infrastructure in Halcyon.
Yeah, and once you go back to him, he'll own your dignity too.
Yeah, that'd go a long way toward rebuilding our homes.
To be on the board is to be part of the colonial community, and being cut off means slow strangulation. I'm not a man to put pride before progress. If membership on the board can ease our hardships and provide us with opportunities, then that's the path I mean to pursue. Besides, I'm hopeful that additional leverage on our part will allow us a more equitable relationship. Indeed. I've discovered it's much easier to negotiate from a position of power. And I don't mean to leave MSI or its people at a disadvantage. My hope is to maintain the reforms we've managed here, and Una, what can I do for you?
Greetings, and welcome to Monarch Stellar Industries. What can I do for you today? You know, sending you is the first bright idea I've seen from that man, because I told him to stop bothering me about it a week ago. I still don't know anything about it, but if you want to help him, Velma's the one to ask. She's in the warehouse. But I'll warn you, Grim wore her patience thin a long time ago. Not at all. Mr. Nandi treats us all right and pays us well. I just spent most of my paycheck on Raptidon acid. 20 bottles worth adds up, that's for sure. You'd think Sebastian would give me a discount as much as I buy from him. Oh, I don't mind. I usually buy things one at a time. Gives me more chances to talk to him. He's sort of the strong, silent type. Unfortunately, my apartment's kind of filling up with his stuff. And some of the neighbors are complaining about the smell. Would you? I'd appreciate that so much. Maybe don't tell him I wanted you to ask. Just that you met this really nice lady named Celia, and she seemed... Oh, Mr. Nandi's doing that thing where he breathes through his nose real slowly. I'd better get back to work.
Smells like rat.
Look, you can tell Catherine the new shipment will be ready when it's ready, all right? She's welcome to come up here and pack boxes herself if she's in such a hurry. Did she now? Well, I can see I was mistaken. Because if Catherine really had sent you, there'd be a lot more expletives in your message. I hope you can forgive my temper. This job has been running me ragged lately. First, my autoloader foreman stages a walkout, and now my chief pescatological health manager is missing. That's what Braxton is. He's our fish doctor. He's a real wizard with pharmaceuticals, but he has creative notions of working hours. Comes with living in a free colony, I guess. I can't keep working double shifts either. Since you don't seem to be constrained yourself, maybe you could check up on him. He lives in the apartments. Tell him Velma said to get his lazy ass down here, or she might start noticing those extra drugs he's been taking from supply. Something else on your mind? This again? I swear, this is the last time I contract for any special requests. You can tell Grim his poster came in. You can also tell him I got a better offer for it. So now it's going to Nell. That about cover it? Sure can. If you want to pay me more than Nell's offering. I got a feeling you and Catherine would get on like tumors on a pig. Take the poster then. And if I never hear another word about it, it'll be too soon. Stealing's such a nasty word. Let's call it skimming. And yeah, let's just say I've noticed the sterile biotics we use for the fish would get used a little faster on Braxton's shifts. Someone would've if this were a corporate town, but we pride ourselves on giving people a little breathing room. Besides, the Spacer's Choice stuff we use is cheap enough. And Braxton knows how to get this Altoona, fat and mostly tumor-free.
Have you had time to check on that poster yet? Would you look at that? The Rizzo's logo is nice and bright, and you can still smell the ink on Mr. Holcomb's signature. I can't thank you enough. Still, you can have the bits I was gonna spend at the bar this week. And you know what? Take my old tossball blocker too. Never get the chance to use it these days.
Did you and Ellie drink all my Spectrum Red?
Well, I see you've had a sobering effect on our friend Nyoka.
Sir, please stop.
Forgive me, Celia. I couldn't help myself. Anyway, what can I do?
Hey, Cass. Knock, knock.
Said you docked 3 days ago?
Some crew members are causing a disturbance on the ship. We are now in orbit above Byzantium, Captain.
You're gonna get hit in the crossfire if you meddle with those two. Since we're in Byzantium, there's something I've been meaning... I haven't actually talked to my folks in a while. Shocking, right? Anyway, it's probably about time I paid them a visit. Given the dangerous life I lead, they've got to be worried sick. Which brings us to where we are today, several messages and a few years late. See, I'm originally from Byzantium, born and raised. I know that probably comes as a big surprise. Yeah, exactly. Oh, well, great. And when we get there, draw out your rough edges a bit. If you've got an outfit you haven't washed in a while, maybe one with some blood stains, you're the boss. Anything else? I admire your grit, but some wounds don't heal. And I say that as someone who's plugged a few severed aortas. Only if you don't mind ending up with a mess on your hands. By all accounts, Sanjar and Graham have been at each other's throats for years. Digging into their personal history isn't gonna change anything. Well, they've kept it going this long, haven't they? And anyway, we've got problems of our own. I try to save my captain a headache when I can. Usually ends up saving me one too. Hey, I'm the doctor here. That means I'm supposed to be the one nosing into your business. Anyway, I can take a hint. You stay out of mine, and I'll stay out of yours. Anything else?
Not so fast. All right, you're clear.
UDL security.
The adjutant's expecting you. Go on.
I see you haven't been shot to pieces by the guards. Do you have an appointment? Of course. You're that curious spacer Mr. Bedford mentioned. Just a moment, please. Madam Adjutant, Bedford's contact has arrived. Shall I clear your schedule?
No, thank you, Percival. I doubt this will take long. I'm Sophia Akande, adjutant to the chairman. Yes, Hawthorne, or whoever you really are. I've been reading all about you. This dossier from Emerald Vale was especially engrossed. You know the location of Dr. Phineas Wells. I'm interested. But I'm not yet sure I can trust your information. The thought crossed my mind. I'm willing to work with you, but I need to know that I can trust you. I have a job for you. Rachel Lockwood, cartographer for the Bureau of Exploration. She's done some sensitive work for us, but now she's a loose end. Lockwood has to go. Get rid of her.
If we don't do it, someone else will.
You keep colorful associates, Captain. I expect you'll put them to good use. At the very least, I expect you to do better than the other freelancer. Report back to me when you're finished. Excellent. Percival will handle your paperwork for you.
Sure, they look fancy, but inside, they're just marble and existential emptiness.
Monumentous occasion in the course of Halcyon history. After a deep and thorough examination
All right, how does this sound?
Welcome. Welcome to the Byzantium office of, Bureau of Exploration. I'm... Hi there. Well, hey there. What can I do for you? Ah, yes, Lockwood, right. Unfortunately, she isn't in the office. Oh, you can't do that. Sorry. It's, locked. Yes, it is. Of course I've got a key. I'm the receptionist. It's my job to have a key. I'm not giving it to the likes... well, fine. Hurry up before she comes back and catches me. You. Catches you. If I knew I wouldn't be here, would I? Sometimes she's at the bar wetting her beak. Billingsley's, that's the place. You checked there yet? You should. I don't know, 5 hours, 5 days. I'm a receptionist, not a clock. Hey, take it easy. I'm new to the job. Yeah, learn.
I'm afraid I can't come down anymore.
Have you tried our new cocktail sponsored by Rizzo's? 1 part Purple Spectrum vodka? What? How curious! I was just wondering after Rachel myself. I do. Unfortunately, Rachel doesn't want to be found. I'm honor-bound to keep her location a secret. Or no, not honor-bound, the other thing. Paid, yes. I'm paid to keep her location a secret. Can you make me a better... I'm quite sure you'll be able to convince me, bit by bit. Oh, by all means, ask her. Rizzo's Spectrum Vodka is about to... I don't believe in work. Work is for auto mechanicals and lower classes. I don't mean to sound cruel. There's nothing wrong with working. It's just so... unnecessary. Why bother? We all have our roles in society. I like to think of myself as an entrepreneur. Do you know some... What can I do for you? Then you'll want to speak with our auto-mechanical inebriation assistant. Quite so, but I would never lower my... Still looking for Miss Lockwood, are we? How can I help you? Quite so. She's especially fond of near maple liqueurs, but I suppose there's no accounting for taste. She's a common enough sight during the evening.
I've always...
Is Lexio still drinking?
This is the simple truth. We are all molecular machines. The body is a collection of atoms. The mind is a consequence of chemical reactions. Therefore, our lives are predestined.
So, Vicky. Can I call you Vicky?
Absolutely fucking not.
Well, Vicar, you sure curse an awful fucking lot.
Look who's talking.
Move along.
Well, hey there. What can I do for you? Yeah? If I knew I wouldn't be here, would I? Sometimes she's at the... Billingsley.
My dear fellow, you've no idea.
I think we can both agree that
No one saw me trip over that, right?
I'll sue every technician and employee who's ever touched this damned device.
I'm on my legally allotted break. Oh, what are you doing here? Nothing. Nothing. Why? Does it look like I'm up to something? Laws, I knew it! You got me. I'm caught, aren't I? I work in the lab at the Ministry of Accuracy and Morale. Some of my sprats went missing, but it's not my fault, okay? Maybe I let them out more often than regulations allow, but they need to stretch their little legs. And so what if I occasionally forgot to latch their cage? They escaped. And before I could coax them back, they'd made their way to the maintenance tunnels. Even if I did dare go down there, they're among all the common sewers. Really? In that case, take this collection crate. 6 of my little ones are down there, but don't worry, you can easily tell them apart from common sewer sprats. They have intelligent eyes, an agreeable yet reserved demeanor, and a fondness for hiding. Also, they're white rather than green. Please, do take care, and do mind the exterminator mechanicals. If the worst should happen to my little darlings...
Get away from me! Were you following me? Back off, all right? I've got a slide rule and I'm not afraid to use it.
Wow, am I ever glad I followed you. I figured you were onto something when you were snooping around the office. So shall we get to the killing?
What? Killing? What the fuck is going on here?
My friend and I here have jobs to do. You just sit tight for a minute while we discuss how we're gonna handle this. The contract calls for her maps, yeah? Half the bits for the maps, half for the confirmation of the kill. How's about I take the kill, and you take the maps?
Hold on, okay? Just hear me out. What if...
Will you pipe down? We're trying to have a business meeting here. You must be new to the assassination game. If you talk to your victims, it makes it harder to kill them, see? It's not recommended. Didn't you read the handbook?
Please, just listen. You don't need to...
Shush! Oh, all right. The anticipation is killing me, though. Get it? Because I want to kill her?
Wait. Whatever the contract is, I'll pay you both the full amount. You let me live, and you don't have to split anything.
That's a lot of bits. But, I mean, I've got a reputation to uphold. How would you feel if someone paid you to make bogus maps? Listen, I don't want to beat around the bush. If you're dead set on taking that deal, I'm dead set on taking your life. After all that, you're just gonna up and lose your nerve? Are you kidding me?
I do rest easier when we break neither the law nor the law.
I guess I'm gonna have to do all the killing by myself, as usual.
Make him regret it.
I've had quite enough of you!
You killed him? I mean, not that I'm complaining. I swear I'll leave Byzantium. I'll leave Terra too. I'll find a way off Halcyon, if I can. You can't be serious. All right. Here. Take the money. Just leave me alone.
What do you think you're doing? Oh, for the good old days when
I do not understand why you would discard the birthright destiny as bestowed upon you.
As usual, I have no idea what you're talking about.
So many yearn